What's up, guys? I've been always wondering what happened between Brock and Professor Ivy. Like everybody, all Pokemon fans know that Brock left Ash and company in Valencia Island in the Orange Islands to stay with Professor Ivy. The Pokemon Company stated that the reason why Brock left was because of his eyes. He was perceived as a racist stereotype in non-Japanese viewers, so they decided to get rid of him for good, and Tracy to replace him. But Tracy wasn't as popular as Brock, so they decided to make Brock replace him again. But there was a problem when Brock returned. They had to fill the gap. Why did he return? And what happened between him and Professor Ivy? The Pokemon Company actually had no idea what happened, even the Pokemon Company. So they decided to make it ambiguous. When Misty and Ash mentions Professor Ivy's name, he says, "I don't want to talk about it, don't mention that name." And many crazy theories by fans was made, like he made Professor Ivy pregnant, or he molested Professor Ivy. Even though Brock is just a 14-15-year-old kid, he cannot do something like that. And that's why I'm making this video to state my own speculation on this, since it is not an official story by the enemy. My own speculation on this is that Brock was in love with Professor Ivy, clearly, and when he was staying with her in Valencia Island, he proposed to her for marriage. Of course, she turned him down because she was busy with her researches about Pokemon physiology, and that's why Brock never wanted to hear her name again. Brock actually never did anything wrong. He never molested her or made her pregnant, as some claims, because actually Professor Ivy sent her regard to Brock when he joined Ash and Company back. If he did any perverted thing, she wouldn't respect him at all. You wouldn't respect a pervert, of course. Brock didn't do anything wrong, but he was heartbroken as usual. And actually, Misty mentioned that fact, as we will see later on.
Professor who?
Ivy.
That was such a strange story arc, and it always freaked me out whenever I had to dub the Brock scenes with the blue, like the screen would turn.
It was so sad, right?
And it was like, and they never. You said that once again. They never address those things. It's almost like as in your face. Some of the storylines are the thing with Oak and the thing with the Ivy. They almost leave it up to, like, just imagine. You just put your own story. Like, what are the details? We're never going to wrap that up.
Probably something disturbing.
I mean, what do you think happened?
I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
but do you have a theory of what you think happened on that island?
No, it was probably something disturbing though.
Right?
Who knows? What about, didn't you put the lyric in that for Pokemon's from their Christmas album?
Yes.
What was it, Rocking with Ivy's Flock? What was
Yeah. I figured he was having like a great time on that island, and then he just.
But he's only 14 or something,
right?
So within boundaries.
Right, so nobody wanted to be his girlfriend, and that was the end. It was like, here I am with like an island filled with women, and I still can't get a date.
How come you didn't stay with Professor Ivy?
That name.
Hey, Brock, what's wrong?
I don't want to talk about it.
Did Professor Ivy do... I just said... What happened?
I don't want to talk about it.
She must have dumped him.
Huh?
This always happens. You okay, Brock?
No.
I tried to get him to tell me what happened, but whenever I mentioned Professor Ivy, he always said the same thing.
Don't mention that name.
Sometimes your signature is Gary. Ugh. Don't mention that name. Come on, Ash, quit acting like Brock.
Brock, I guess you must have been excited the first time you met the professor. That name!
He meets Professor Oak.
By the way, Brock, Professor Ivy sends her best regards. What's wrong?
You really don't want to go there.
Not that I actually care, but how come the big twerp's in town?
I thought you were staying back on Valencia Island with that Professor Ivy.
Don't mention that name!
He took my parasol.
너무나